Hi, I'm Mark from uSkinned, and today I want to take you through the upgrade process from Umbraco 8 to Umbraco 17 with uSkinned Site Builder installed. Now the steps I'm going to take is to go from 8 to 10, 10 to 13 and 13 to 17, and that's down to the way that migrations work with Umbraco, and it is the recommended approach to jump between versions. So you can see that on this web page that I'm on just now. I'll share a link in the comments. So I'm going to try and do this in real time, just to demonstrate how long it's possible to take carrying out an upgrade. So I've created a Umbraco 8 project with uSkinned Site Builder installed. You can see I've got some empty folders here for Umbraco 10, 13 and 17. That's where we're going to install these versions. This is a fairly new laptop, so I don't have IIS installed, so we'll open the project and run it through Visual Studio. So hopefully everything runs quickly so that we can get through. Right, so this is Umbraco 8 with uSkinned Site Builder 1.1.5 installed. What you need to do is get to the latest version of uSkinned Site Builder for Umbraco 8, which is 1.1.6. I didn't want to start on the very first version of uSkinned Site Builder because it would take too long to show you me going through each upgrade step. With Umbraco 8 and uSkinned Site Builder version 1, you need to incrementally upgrade each uSkinned version. The upgrade process is the same. You need to be on the latest version of uSkinned Site Builder version 1 to go to 10 and then 13 and 17. So what I want to do is show you going from 1.1.5 to 1.1.6, and then we'll do the jumps to each major version. So what we've got here, I'll just jump on the website. So it's just a basic website. We've got a theme installed, so I'll just change the style of the site to one of the themes and call this demo. So that you can just see that this is the version that I'm upgrading, and you can see us jumping through it. So what we want to do first is upgrade to the latest version of uSkinned Site Builder for version 8. So that's 1.1.6. So we're on 1.1.5 as you can see there. So we go to packages, install local, and I want to find the uSkinned update file. So hopefully nobody will be going from 8 to 17, but I just wanted to demonstrate that it is possible to go from version 8. So first install the package, finish, everything looks okay, and then if I go to the updates folder, Site Builder 1.1.6. So the way you upgrade with version 8 is that you copy from the updates folder and paste that to the root level of the site. And that's it, simple as that. You notice that in that updates folder there's no uSync files, so if there was uSync files in here, there would be an additional update step where you need to run uSync import. But we don't have that with this going from 1.1.5 to 1.1.6. But you'll see uSync upgrade steps in the later steps that we take. So if we go back to the site, because the bin folder's been overwritten with a new DLL, the website restarts and you can see that we're now on 1.1.6. And if I go to the site, everything should be running fine. And there we go. So we're now on the latest version of uSkinned Site Builder 1.1.6 for Umbraco version 8. So the next step is to go from 8 to 10. So what we want to do is install a new version of Umbraco 10 with uSkinned Site Builder installed. So if I jump to my empty folder and I'll open in terminal, we want, so I've written down the install scripts, but if you go to uSkinned.net, sources, install, you can copy and paste this for the relevant versions that you are installing. So go back to terminal and we'll just install Umbraco 10. Now I'm going to install against a SQLite database. The Umbraco 8 website that I've just shown you has got a SQL Server database behind the scenes, and that is the database that we're going to use for each upgrade. But I'll get to that in a minute. So we want to first install the Umbraco 10 templates, and then create a solution, and then the unattended upgrade Umbraco install. Just creates a new project, add that project to the solution, and then what we want to do is install uSkinned Site Builder, the latest version on version 3, which is the one that's compatible with Umbraco 10. And because we'll have uSync steps, we want to install uSync. And then I want to run the project. And that'll run through steps. And if I go in this folder, you can see that the folder is getting populated. There we go. So it's trying to find the SQLite database, creating Umbraco tables, installing uSkinned, all the demo content, and we should be ready. There we go. So if I run now, I'll just close the Umbraco 8 one. So we'll get a license message here because I've not added the, you can see no licenses installed, but I'll just log into the back office and admin. You can see that we're up and running with uSkinned version 3.0.5 and Umbraco 10.8.11. So if I close, I'll need to close the project to install the license. So I'll just go to my Umbraco 10 folder. I want to go to the upgrade, so it's the old license. And then it goes in the licenses folder. So if I just run that again, you'll see that the license, we won't have the license message. Great thing about running demos is when it takes a long time for the website to load, but here we go. Right, there we go. So we've now got the uSkinned Site Builder installed against version 10. So now what we want to do is to point the connection string of this project to the Umbraco 8 database. Now, I recommend that you, going between each Umbraco version in this upgrade process, take a backup of your database so that if anything goes wrong in any of the steps, you can go back and then start again. And you're not starting right from the beginning again. So we want to go to the Umbraco 10 app settings. Just open it with Notepad. And let's see. So we want to change this connection string to the connection string which is in your Umbraco 8 project. And we've got some Umbraco settings that we want to add to this, because we do not want schema and content migrations to run again. That is because your database already has content, so we don't want that package migration step to run. So you add this to app settings, which is package migration, run schema and content migration set to false. So save that. Close, and then we'll run again. Okay, so we'll see that we're sitting under maintenance. So log in. So because we've pointed our Umbraco 10 project to an Umbraco 8 database, there's migration steps that need to run, and this will change values in the database. It might change database structure. This is part of the Umbraco migration process. So click continue. And this should be fairly quick. Okay, so okay, so database migrations run successfully. The Umbraco 8 database is now migrated to Umbraco 10. But if we go to the front end, so sometimes when you run migration, the cache is empty. So you want to go to publish, status, refresh, reload, just click everything, just to make sure. And then let's see, it looks like it's worked. And you'll see that we now have, okay, so we've got errors. And that is because we need to run the uSync steps. So all update files go into this USN folder. So I'll go to updates. And what we want to do is, there might be changes in the main views, which there are, and there's also uSync updates. So what we'll do is we'll first copy these views to the root level, and what we want to do is copy the uSync files, the update ones. Okay. So you also notice there's dictionary items here that have changed, so that's that's a content update in uSync, so I'll show you that in a minute. So if we go to uSync v9. Now this is the uSync output from the installation of uSkinned Site Builder. We don't want that because we want we don't want to import the content from the base install, because this is a working project. So we just delete all the uSync files and paste in the update ones. Go to the settings section, uSync, and we want to run a settings import. So this will make changes to data types, document types, anything that's changed between versions with uSkinned Site Builder. Almost there. Okay, and that ran successfully as well. I run this twice just in case. I find sometimes when you only run it once, it can miss things. So there's no harm in running it again. So we're all good. I'm also going to do a content import because there was dictionary items. I just want to jump to the translation section. Yeah, you can see that there's no hierarchy structure with the version 8. We changed that between versions. So when I run an import, you'll see that the dictionary items get put into a more organized structure. So if I go to settings, import, and then go back to translation, I think when I refresh this, yeah, you can now see that it's got a folder structure. Just to make sure. Yeah. So as you saw, I had to run that twice there just to make sure that everything went into the right structure. Between upgrades, what I always do is save and publish the design node that your site's using. That's because it generates a style sheet, and if there's been changes between versions, there might be changes in the way the style sheet gets generated, so you want to regenerate that. And then if I go to the site now, you won't get the error. Fingers crossed. And there we go. Oh, we've lost images. Okay. So we've lost images, and that is because I've missed an important step. So this is the thing, it's easy to miss steps. So we're upgrading from 8 to 10. What we want is the media from our 8 project copied in. So copy your media folder. And this media folder has got our basic install media, so we don't need that. Delete that and paste. And then if I refresh now, there we go, got our media. So we've now successfully upgraded from Umbraco 8 to Umbraco 10. So next step is 10 to 13. So I'll close this. Taking a while to close down. There we go. Okay, so we've got nothing in our Umbraco 13 project. Now we want to do the same again as what we did with our Umbraco 10 project. So open internal, and then what we want to do is run the install script for Umbraco 13. So first of all, we want the Umbraco 13 templates. And then create the solution. Put this up here so you can actually see the folder getting populated. So I want to create the Umbraco 13 project. Add it to my solution. Install the latest version of uSkinned Site Builder for Umbraco 13, which is 6.4.3. And again, because we'll be doing a uSync step, we install uSync and then run the project. So it's uSkinned demo content getting installed. And that's us. So if I run it, again, we'll have the license message. I can run in, log in, I can close these ones. Log into the back office. And you can see we've got version 13 installed. We've got no license, so what I'll do is I'll just close the project. And we will add the license file, which is here. Umbraco licenses, paste. Just run that again. Might take a while to load. Come on. There we go. So we've got the front end running, the Umbraco 13 wireframe, uSkinned site builder, sorry, wireframe, log into the back office. Right, so we've got an Umbraco 13 project running. What we want to do with this one, same as what we did with the Umbraco 10, was point the database to point the connection string from Umbraco 13 project to our Umbraco 10 database. Again, at this point, back up your database because you've got a working version on Umbraco 10, so you want to make sure that that's not lost if anything goes wrong. I'll just close these down, go back to my 13 project. Okay, so connection string, open with Notepad. And then I want to put my connection string in. So it's not pointing to the SQLite database anymore. The package migrations, which we don't want to run the schema and content migrations. Again, for the same reasons, we don't want that package migration step to run because we don't want to install new content. We're using the content from our own project. So save that. Oh, and the step that I missed in the last one was we want to delete the media folder, which is there. And then go to our Umbraco 10 project, get the media from that. See. So root media, paste. And we want to run our Umbraco 13 project again. There's a couple of errors there. Just wanted to check what they were. Yeah. Looks as if it's fine. I don't know what that was. Okay, so again, I expect to see that because we've not run uSync import yet. So want to go to our updates folder. Now I've just remembered when I moved to Umbraco 10, you saw me copying the views folder. Now this won't make any harm. I didn't need to do that because the partial views in the Umbraco 10 project are correct. The only reason you would need to copy these files is if you were going between versions within Umbraco 10 or 13. That's because we might change these files between updates and you want to copy them into your upgraded project. But because we've installed Umbraco 10 from scratch, you don't need to copy these files because they're basically the same as they match the version that I've installed. If that makes sense. If it doesn't make sense, you just need to reach out to support and I'll explain it to you better. Or if you're having any issues with the upgrade process. So, but what we do want to copy is the uSync files. So, copy all of them and then go to uSync folder. I want to delete these ones, place them with ours. And I want to go to, so just demonstrate again that the front end of the site isn't running. You also see, don't know if you noticed there, so this is different. Again, it's to do with uSync settings on these data types. So you see that that's not displaying correctly, but that will all be fixed when we run uSync. So if I go to uSync and I run a settings import, and you can see that there was errors in that import, so we'll run it again. And you can see that there's still an error there, so what we'll do is we'll check the error. There it is. So this is a known error. If you go to uSkinned Changelog, we will mention certain steps that may be required between specific versions. So you can see if I'm going past 6.4.1, there is this uSync issue with common block settings. Now this was because we moved a property between document types, and the uSync import fails because of this, but there's a fix and it's stated here. So what we need to do is go to document types, compositions, pods components, common component minimum settings, save this document type. So if I go to document types, components, it was compositions, wasn't it? Compositions, common, and it was component minimum settings. And if I just save that, and then if I go back to uSync, and then rerun the import, it should work. So that's a step that we have seen it catch people out, and it is documented on our website that Well, we cut out there when I was running the uSync import again, because I'm using, not done these videos before, so I'm using Clipchamp and I didn't realise that it would only record for 30 minutes and then you've got to start a new recording. So anyway, if this goes well, I'll upgrade the recording software and probably the webcam as well. So yeah, what we were doing there was fixing that the uSync import error. You can see that it's now run, but I'll run it again. And that's us upgraded to 13. Now we're probably going to have, yeah, got that issue again. So if I go to settings, publish, refresh, reload, build, and then go to, oh, still got it, so let's publish. Publish the site, let's just publish everything. Publish, and as I said before, we published the design node just to regenerate the style sheet. Close. And then we should have a running version of Umbraco 13. There we go. So we're now upgraded to Umbraco 13. You can see some changes there because I'm logged into the back office. We've now got the wee edit option, which came in with one of the later versions. We've also got the visual editor. Now, when we open block list items, and like I can see changes getting made. Let's add, let's change. So everybody's gone surfing. Upgrade going, oh, can't spell. Upgrade going well so far. There we go. So not bad, and basically half an hour we've gone from Umbraco 8 to Umbraco 13. Next step is Umbraco 17, the exciting upgrade, because as you may or may not know, there's a lot of new AI features with Umbraco 17 that it's up to you to install. They are provided by Umbraco HQ, but you're free to install them and you're free to use AI in whatever way you wish. It's exciting times, lots of things that we're going to be able to do with the new back office. So let's go into Umbraco 17. So it's the same upgrade process again as we did going from 10 to 13. So first of all, you can see we've got an empty project. I'll close the 13 project and go to 17 project. Let's close down some of this mess. And then what we want to do is open that folder in terminal and start installing Umbraco 17 with uSkinned Site Builder, which is version 7. So first install the 17 templates. Create a new solution. I'm going to move this to the side and show you everything happening. Create the new project with Umbraco installed. Add the project to the solution. Install uSkinned Site Builder, latest version. Install uSync, because again there's going to be uSync steps. And run the project. Close this as well. That was the Umbraco 8 one. Don't need that anymore. So it's the uSkinned migration process, installing demo content. And unattended upgrade completed successfully. Now I'm just going to close this because there's no point showing you that there's no license. I'll just install the license. So it's a new license file, new folder. Put the license in and then run. Open that. So what we'll have here is a running version of Umbraco 17 with uSkinned Site Builder 7.0.2 installed. Taking a bit longer to boot up this time. What's that? We've got them. Don't need that anymore. There we go. So we've got uSkinned Site Builder, base install, log into the back office. And you can see we're running uSkinned version 7.0.2 and Umbraco version 17.4.2. So same upgrade process again. We want to repoint the database and run the uSync import steps. So I'll just close that. We want to again back up your database. We've got a working version of Umbraco 13 with uSkinned Site Builder. Again, if there's any mistakes made in the next process, we want to be able to go back to our 13 project and start the upgrade process again. So make sure you back up your database at this point. So where are we going? We're going into the connection strings. And we want to change from the SQLite database to our SQL Server database. Add our package migration bit. There. And we want to run the project. The annoying thing is that you need to, in Umbraco 17, you need to find the URL for the site. Where is it? Let's see. Where is it? So there's some migration steps that ran against that database. So there are uSkinned ones. This is the URL. The site. Use that. Right. Ignore that message. It was just because I went to the wrong URL there. And the usual front end doesn't run because we haven't done the uSync part. So don't be afraid when you see that error message. you've not completed the upgrade steps yet. So our database has been migrated. The Umbraco 13 database has been migrated to Umbraco 17. We want to now run the uSync import steps. So we go to our updates folder. We don't need the views because we're running 17 anyway. We've installed 17, so we're not. It's all, as I said, it's only if you're moving between versions within an Umbraco version, so like minors, there might be changes to view files, so you want to copy them, but we don't need to do that because we've installed a fresh version of Umbraco 17. So copy. So where are we going? Yeah. So uSync. Want to delete this. Paste in our uSync files, and then go to uSync import. And there's no, this should just work this time. It wasn't like the 13 one where we had to do that extra step with saving the document type. Looks like there's warnings, but we'll just run it again. You can see everything's gone well. Just check. There's been some dictionary item changes. So that's all good. And then if we go to the home page, info tab, have we got a fail? We do. So it looks like everything's just worked that time. So going from 13 to 17 was actually easier than going from 10 to 13. Or have I spoken too soon? So what have we got here? Okay, so this is an error to do with models builder. So I'm not sure why that error happened there, but I don't know if it's something to just do with caching. Let's see. It's a models builder error. Yeah, that's fine. So you can see the style that it was. So there's just something wrong with the in-memory models there when I ran that upgrade. So I just had to refresh things. So you can see the style sheet's not there. Go to Tyree, save and publish. Now if we go back to the site, and there we go. Oh, and again, I forgot about the media folder. So at least I'm highlighting that it's easy enough to forget steps. So go to media, copy. Umbraco 17, clear the media, delete all them, don't need them, paste in, and then refresh. And we have gone all the way from Umbraco 8 to Umbraco 17 in less than an hour, which I would say is pretty impressive. You can see upgrade going well so far. That was what we typed into the Umbraco 13 project, so you can see that we are definitely running Umbraco 17 and uSkinned Site Builder version 7.0.2. So I hope you enjoyed that video. I'm going to do more of these videos, upgrade my tools for doing it. So it was actually 45 minutes to go from Umbraco 8 to Umbraco 17. So I hope that you've enjoyed that. I hope it helps other people upgrading and encourages you to upgrade to the latest version. Alright, thanks for watching.